Welcome to the Ambitious Coach Podcast. This is a place where driven, determined coaches learn how to get off the business growth struggle bus and learn how to build a wildly profitable online coaching business. I'm your host, Allison Henderson, corporate dropout to six-figure social media business coach. I'm going to show you how I've been able to create the business of my dreams organically, all through utilizing my social media platforms. So pull up a seat, take some notes, and get ready to see your life and bank account transform. Hello, everyone. It has been forever, it feels like at least, since I had done a podcast episode solo. So just to give you, I guess, a little bit of my life and a business update, the last few months, I've just been so busy. I have a full roster of one-on-one clients, and I also had a group program called Making Moves, which you guys might have heard about the last few months. So I have just been really busy. For Making Moves, I had daily audio trainings. I was doing daily content prompts, daily sales prompts. It was just a lot. And I was also auditing content, websites, sales pages, sales call scripts. And I was also doing this once again, in addition to having a full roster of one-on-one clients. So I'm back though. I took a little bit of a break. I had a lot of great guests on, which I hope that you guys all enjoyed. And I will keep doing that as well. But I just took a little bit of a break from my solo episodes just so I can focus on my clients, my kids, and my programs. I always tell you guys all this if you've ever been in any of my programs, but I always want to make sure that my clients have the best experience and actually get results when they're working with me. Duh, right? And so my user experience is extremely important to me because I just truly want everyone who comes through my coaching world to succeed and to make a lot of money. So now that I've taken a little bit of a break and I'm really just solely focusing on my one-on-one clients, I will be having more group programs in the future. So stay tuned for that. But I am back and I'm feeling so good. And I do just want to let you know, I do have a couple openings for one-on-one clients right now. So if you are getting that itch to work with me and you want someone to really dive into everything in your business, well, what are you waiting for? In my one-on-one coaching container, we look at your whole business foundation, your website, your sales pages, your offer suite, your social media assets, your content, your sales calls, your DM conversations, your email marketing. I can literally go on and on, but there's so much that we cover, but I literally give you that step-by-step on how to sign clients through social media and even locally. And I say all that like, the sales pages and all that sort of, yes, there's a lot when it comes to building up your business foundation. But when you're doing it with somebody, it doesn't feel so hard. This is a lot of what I support my clients with. All the things that you've been avoiding or all the things that you just know aren't really working to your advantage, that is what we look at. And I want you to really imagine, I want you thinking of your business as something that works for you and your lifestyle. So imagine having 5K months. Imagine having discovery calls booked every single week. I really want you to believe this because believe it or not, my clients who are moms who have day jobs, they are killing it right now inside my one-on-one coaching container. So don't let your lack of time discourage you from making more money and figuring out a way to actually quit your day job, if that's even something that you have right now. Literally 3 of my clients right now are on that verge of either going part-time or quitting their job altogether. It's so amazing to see and witness these mom business owners finally start to have that life and that business they truly desire. So if you are being called to learn more about my program, I have a 3 and 6 month option. The 3-month investment is $3,000 and the 6-month investment is $5,000. And of course, yes, I do have payment plans, okay? So if you are serious about building your business this year, click the link in my show notes to apply to work with me. Stop waiting for the perfect time to feel ready. Ready is simply just a decision that you decide to make. All right, so let's get started with this week's episode. I want you closing more sales calls. I've coached hundreds of sleep consultants and coaches over the last 6 years, and one of the things that really stop people from making a lot of money is their lack of confidence on their sales calls. Sometimes the hardest part is just getting them on the sales call, and then bam, you bomb it. We don't want that to happen. Obviously, I don't want you doing that. So on this week's episode, I want to make sure that you feel so confident and so prepared to close more of your sales calls. A lot of my clients say my script and just how I structure this call feels so natural and authentic. So I'm really excited to share this with you today. Before I dive into the script, please make sure that you have a notebook handy because I'm going to be actually giving you things to say when you're on this call. Okay. And also, I don't want you to feel like you have to force anything on this sales call or really try to convince them to buy. The convincing was all done before the call. All right. It happens through your content, your emails, your stories, your sales pages, wherever it is that you show up to sell and talk about your offers and share your value. That is where the convincing is done. Okay. So before this call, so before you even get on this call, I want you to relax. There's no need to feel like you need to overly sell yourself or feel like you have to force anything on this call. And if you haven't done multiple sales calls or discovery calls and you're just new to talking about your offers, it is okay to have a script for yourself. I want you to have questions to ask. I want you to know what to even say when you have objections or when you're talking about your pitch or talking about your packages, okay? You want to know as much as possible about this person's daily struggles or challenges or family life, their goals or their desires, okay? And then at some point, you will have to actually talk about your offer, okay? So it's so important that you don't bomb the pitch. You're going to get to a point on that sales call where they are going to want to ask you more about your program and you're going to want to share more about your program. So I want to make sure that they are 100% aware of what they are actually buying and what that tangible outcome is for your program. So please remember to write this down somewhere. A confused mind will not buy. A confused mind will not buy. If they are not clear about what they're likely to receive, and this is in regards to how their life is going to change. I'm not actually talking about the deliverables, which are like the number of calls, a custom guide or a custom plan, or that daily tech support. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about what they actually get when they join your program. So this is for example, for my program. For my one-on-one program, I'm not actually selling you 9 60-minute calls or daily tech support or access to all my courses. I'm selling you a transformational experience. I'm selling you that your life is going to change when you learn how to sell and market your offers. I teach you how to make money on the internet. I teach you how to sign 5 new clients a month by selling your offers online. All right, you guys feel me on this? You don't really care about the number of calls. I mean, yes, it's nice to know that, but what you really care about is the results that I'm going to get you. So with that being said, please make sure that you actually talk about that on the call. And this is also things that you're going to talk about on your sales pages, in your content, anywhere that you're selling online, okay? And lastly, on your sales calls, you want to make sure you are so prepared on how to handle the most common sales call objections. Like, I can't afford it. I have to talk with my husband. I'm not ready right now. Unfortunately, I'm not going to cover those on the podcast today, but it is important that you don't fumble or lower your energy when these come up. Because guess what? They will come up, okay? I want you being confident. I want you practicing all the things that you are afraid that your potential new client is going to ask you or something that they're going to say to you on this call. So be prepared, create a script for yourself. Take some time to practice and say your pitch out loud or practice those objections. And the more you practice, the easier it will be that it just flows out of your mouth naturally when you're on the call. And I know it's hard to calm the nerves and chill out before these calls, but usually we get super nervous because we're afraid that they're going to ask us things that we're not prepared to answer. We're afraid we're going to bomb the pitch. So write down everything you're afraid they're going to ask you and just be prepared to answer all these things, okay? Now, let's talk about the structure of the sales call so that you can leave this episode feeling just so excited and confident to sell so that you can make more money and close more of your sales calls. All right, so the first part of a sales call, of the structure of it, is just that getting to know you phase. This is where you're just talking about their life. So where are you from? Where are you local? How old are your kids? What do you and your partner do for a living? Okay, get to know them a bit more. Next, you're going to share with them how this call is going to be structured. Okay, so set expectations. You can say, hey, I've been looking forward to our call today. I know this isn't easy asking for help in this particular subject, but I promise you that there is light at the end of the tunnel. So I'm going to ask you a few questions about you and see what your goals are and see if we would be a good fit to work together. How does that sound? And when you are approaching your questions, remember, they are human beings. They are not a dollar sign. They are human beings that are in desperate need to be seen, heard, and understood. So a lot of these people have never shared this information with anybody else before. So just be open, be understanding, which I know you will. Just let them talk, all right? Listen to them. Then you're going to start by asking them about their current life situation. Listen, listen, listen. This is the time that you just let them talk. So some of the questions that you can ask is, what's going on with your life right now that you felt the need to book this call with me? Why is this important to you right now? How else is this affecting your life? Or tell me some things that you've tried. I love asking the question, how else is this affecting your life? Because then you can really get deeper with them to what's going on besides what they think is going on. So how is this affecting your relationship, your marriage, your children, your job, your friendships, your just day-to-day life? Get deeper with them. And then I love repeating back to people what I just heard. It makes them feel, once again, seen, heard, and understood. So what I hear you say is blink, 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 right? Is this correct? All right, so the next part of all this is like talking about their desires. I love illuminating how their life could change or how their life could be if they decided to work with me. So thank you for sharing that with me. I know this isn't easy to talk about. I really appreciate you opening up to me and trusting me to share such private details of your life. Tell me more about what your life would be like if blank was your current reality. So insert a desire there. So for example, for me, like tell me a bit more about what your life would be like if you did make $5,000 a month. Or what if you could have blank, blank, and blank? So once again, insert some desires here. What do they actually want? And if for some reason they haven't mentioned this to you, like in the part of the conversation above, insert some things that you know will happen once they are done working with you. Then I want you to say, hey, I'm really confident I can help you with this. This is exactly what I help my clients with every single week inside my one-on-one coaching program. Would you mind if I shared with you a bit more about the program that I think would be a perfect fit for you? And then at this point, you're going to share about your offer. What offer do you feel is the best fit for them based off of what they just told you? My biggest suggestion for all of you is do not share more than one offer unless you feel it's completely necessary. Sharing too many offers does confuse people. They aren't taking notes or seeing like a big spreadsheet in front of them that they're able to compare and see both of the offers. Share one offer and then ask them how they feel about it. I also want to remind you too is like they want to be told what to do. If they knew what to do or they knew what package that they wanted, they would have already told you, right? A lot of people are coming on this call because they don't know what to do, all right? And remember, write out your pitch. List out the most common things you're going to help them with. Actually repeat back to them their struggles and the things that they spoke about on this call. Use their words. This is really important. So take notes on this call. List out how working with you works, what's included in your program, or anything that you feel that they have to know before they sign on to work with you. And then at the end of this call, with certainty and with confidence, you're going to say, at the end of working together, you're going to have X, Y, and Z and feel X, Y, and Z. So once again, you're going to repeat back to them what they already said earlier on the call. What was that big goal of theirs? What was something that they really wanted to feel? Lastly, at the end of this, you're going to share the investment, okay? This is the part where everybody just decides to get all weird and cringy. You don't have to. Money is a part of growing your business, right? It's a part of owning a business. You're going to have to talk about it. And they want to know the investment, right? So I'm very much about transparent sales. It's okay to talk about your pricing on your website, talk about it in your content, anywhere that you sell. Because when you get to this point on the sales call, like you don't want them to go, wait, what? It's, $5,000? It's like, no, you already knew that because, it's on the sales page, right? So share the investment. So all you have to say is the investment for this package is blank. How does that sound? How do you feel about that? And then you're going to pause. Don't rush into anything. Once again, don't make it cringy or weird because I know a lot of you might want to fill that awkward space, but you do not have to. Share the price and then go, how does that sound? How do you feel about that? And then you're going to let them talk. Remember, you have them on the call right now. Do not get off this call until you have a follow-up plan in place. You want to know what the next steps are. You also want to tell them the next steps so they're not confused. So if they do say something like, I have to talk with my husband or, I can't afford this, make sure that you have the objections, like what you're going to say on that call. But if, for example, if they say I have to talk with my husband, cool, you can just say, no problem. What do you feel he's going to say about this? Does he really understand what you're going through right now? Go deeper. Don't be afraid to ask more questions. You literally have them on the call right now. This is your chance to talk to this person. What are their hesitations? What are their concerns? If they do say, I have to think about it, you can say, hey, that's totally fine. But like, hey, I'm on this call right now. What are those hesitations? What are the things that you feel like you need to think about? And you want to know these questions because you want to know why they're not signing up with you right now. And if they do have to think about it, that's totally fine. Obviously, give some people some breathing space to think things over. I get that. But I want you reflecting back. Like maybe there was something on the call that, and maybe at the beginning they were so like, oh yes, I'm so in. I so want to do this. But then like now at the end of the call, they're kind of like, oh, let me think about it. Like, I always just say, please reflect on your sales calls. Like where could you have gone wrong? Where did you maybe energetically just feel a little weird? It's okay to do this and reflect, okay? Because you don't want to do this on the next call. I have actually asked some of my clients, especially the clients who were like, I've been on 5 sales calls this week and none of them are closing. And I'm like, let's like think about that because I would say 80% of your sales calls should be closing. And the reason why I say that is because a lot of the time, the decision is already made before the sales call. If you are actively selling on social media and through your email and through your stories and all the places, like you should be closing a majority of your sales calls. Let me circle back to the ending of the call. Have a follow-up plan in place. When will you hear from them? I hope all of your calls end with, oh my God, I can't wait to work with you. I'll pay you right now. But if that doesn't happen, it is okay. So if they say they need some time to think about it, let them think about it. Give them some time. They might just need to run through some details with their partner, and that is okay. You can literally just simply say, great, when would be a good time to follow up with you? I personally wouldn't give them more than like 48 hours. I feel like that's a good amount of time for you to talk with your partner or just really think this over, okay? You can also give them a very specific day and time that you're going to be messaging them or emailing them again. Also, have a post-sales call email that you send. It could be as simple as you just talking about the summary of your call or just some of the things that you're going to work together on. You could send them also a payment link or a link to your sales page. And I would end it with, hey, I'm going to be following up with you on so-and-so date. Hope to hear from you soon or something very simple, okay? So don't feel like in this email you need to overly sell anything. I want it to be short and sweet. Once again, very simple summary of what you talked about, some things that you're going to work on together, payment link, and when you're going to follow up. If you want to put in like how many calls are going to get or whatever, you can bullet point that out. Or once again, you can send that sales page. Okay, so thank you so much for listening. This is just my basic rundown of my magical sales call script. And if you do struggle with sales calls or you just struggle with even booking sales calls, once again, I do have 2 openings for one-on-one clients to start this month, okay? So if this is something you want to do together and you want to build more confidence and just overall have me look at all aspects of your business, this is exactly what I help my clients with in one-on-one coaching, okay? So click the link in my bio to apply to work with me. And yeah, I'll see you again next week. Happy selling. Bye, everyone. Thank you for listening to the Ambitious Coach podcast today. A couple favors before you go. If you found this episode helpful, please take a screenshot and share it on Instagram. Most importantly, don't forget to tag me at Allison Henderson _coach. That's ALLISON Henderson _coach. And lastly, please take a minute to rate this episode and leave a raving review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you tune in to listen. Okay, ambition is great, but it's time to get to work. Take action and commit to being 1% better every day. Once again, thank you for tuning in, and I will see you again next week.